I hope you're doing well today. For all of you that are new, welcome to my garden. For all of you that have been coming back, I hope everything that I give to you serves you well. I just know that if somebody has found me, then there's a reason that you're here. Maybe it's just this one video. Maybe it's this one message. Or maybe it's my work that you have to work on yourself for your own healing, your own journey. So this week, I got some inspiration when I was doing the honesty habit last week. And I definitely recommend anybody that hasn't gone through the simple habits, my first videos that came out last year, or the videos that I made last week. It really does. These are fundamental habits to have in your life that help you get from human consciousness to your spirit consciousness. So definitely check those out. But this week, when we did the honesty habit, I said, wow, if people start doing this work and you start going through those different levels of honesty, the simple honesty, and then you get to the observational honesty, that's where words matter to you more than anything. That is where the journey can take you from A to B, or you get stuck in A, is that honesty. And so this week, I want to work on one word each day. What does that word mean? What can we do with that word? What does that mean when we get the word? What do we do going forward? And here's my philosophy about a word. A word is like these tissues in a box. We can say them, but until we take the tissue out and do something with that word, these are just words in a box. They mean nothing. But when we take out that word and we put meaning to it and we do the work for it, we can either crush it, throw it away, and we can put it in our little place and say, okay, that's finished. I did that. I used my words. I took action. I stand by everything I say. And I know each word that I'm saying and what it means to me, if that makes sense. So when you use your words, take action, that they mean something. They're not just staying in the box. So the word of the day is forgiveness. Now I can imagine people on the other end of this screen going, oh, that's a tough one. Or you're saying you have a specific person in mind, you have a specific event in mind, or maybe a couple. You're like, ooh, you're touching on something. This is what I say. This strawberry represents your heart. And this fish represents the hurt, the pain that was given to you. And this is what that does. Until we are able to forgive, does this hook get released? Because when we do not deal with what's inside of us, it stays there. And every time we get triggered, this is what's being triggered. And it doesn't go out as easily as this hook in this strawberry. It stays in there. Especially deep-rooted childhood issues. That is even deeper. I tried to take this out as a lesson. It got caught on my fingers. It got caught on my sweater. Those ones take time. So have patience with the process. So what does forgiveness mean? Forgiveness means that someone hurt you and did not make you feel safe and did not make you feel loved. If you break down everything that's ever happened to you that's caused you pain, it's because you did not feel safe and you did not feel loved. And because of that, that hurt resides in your spirit. That is what forgiveness is. And here's the thing about forgiveness. You yourself have hooks in you too. Because this one hurt that somebody else gave you, you are also needing to forgive yourself. And many of you are going, but they hurt me and they did this, which is true. But what's also true is you had something preventing you from being in that instant. You were not in control of your life and that situation. Maybe you were a child and you were being hurt and you're angry that you couldn't have done something more. Or some of you loved was getting hurt and you weren't able to help them. There's many different layers of this, but we, in knowing what forgiveness is, not feeling safe, not feeling loved, the first person that we have to forgive is ourselves. Because until we're able to see ourselves, forgive ourselves for any inaction or action that we took, how are we able to forgive others that hurt us? So how do we do that? How do we first start to forgive ourselves? How do we start to forgive others? Here is my example, and you know how much I love my props. So you have this shoe. Now this shoe, you can tell, is from a young boy, my son. Right? If you look at this shoe, this is an innocent shoe. When you look at any kid, they are innocent. But they grow up and they get hurt. And they have hooks that are in them too. So that person that grows up, that has the hooks in them, they do things that maybe if they didn't have so many hooks in them, they wouldn't have done. Maybe if they didn't, if they felt always safe and always loved, then what kind of person would they be? With themselves or with other people? For the majority of this, of who's watching this video, we have hurt within us. And we have to see our humanity so we can see other people's humanity. Just like you, sitting in this childhood of yours and going through the process of life and getting hurt, you have hurt other people too. You have been unkind. You have not done things and you have done things. But you have to see that you are human. This is a human life that we live. We do not know what we do not know. And that is how forgiveness starts, is seeing that you started off as just a baby in a shoe that grew up and had some hooks in your heart that became more and more, and it turned you into who you are today. Now, do we blame that other person that was also a baby in a shoe for the rest of your life too, because of the hooks in their heart? We forgive ourselves for ever having us not feel safe and not feel loved. We see our humanity, and that is what the honesty habit does. We start to see that we are human, that we made mistakes, some carelessly. I might not have slapped my children, But saying a careless word, this still caused them to be hurt. I had to forgive myself. I had to see that I was human, that I didn't know what I didn't know. And it doesn't matter if you were dealing with challenges at the same time. If you hurt someone, you hurt someone. You just did. And you have to be able to forgive yourself for that, because I had to with my own parents. I had to say I had some deep-rooted issues from childhood, from my little baby in a shoe, that caused me to end up in a mental hospital at 48 years old. I was so mad at them. But it wasn't until I saw that I was human too, and the mistakes that I made with my own children, to see their hooks in the heart, that I was able to forgive myself, and I was able to forgive my parents. And the day that I forgave my parents, my mom passed away that day. Some people might look at that as a tragedy. I don't. And the only reason that I don't is because she had full-blown dementia. She might not have known the words that I was saying, but the heartfelt feeling that I had that day she died was complete love and forgiveness for her. And she knew that. She knew her daughter forgave her before she passed away. And for that, I am forever grateful. For those of you who still has a parent or somebody that you need to forgive, I give you this challenge. Make sure that you see yourself first and forgive who you are, and then you will be able to forgive others for who they are, remembering our own humanity. We are human. We do not know what we do not know. And here's the thing about being human. Does it mean that when you go to forgive and you finally get the hooks out and now you're not being triggered, does it mean that you give somebody your heart again that hurt you? No. Because you are your own person and you went through the steps, you took your words, I forgive you, even if they were to yourself, and you took them out and you did not band-aid them. You didn't say, oh, positive thinking, they were this and they were that. No, you took the words in. You felt the feeling of what forgiveness does in your life, and you did something about it. No more band-aids. It's work, and you do something with it. So you have the choice now to put that person back into your life, or you don't. Those are the choices that you make with every intention in your heart. So let's recap for forgiveness. Forgiveness means somebody hurt you because they did not make you feel safe and they did not make you feel loved. Second, forgiveness is ultimately seeing humanity, that you are human and they too are human, and that allows you to start the forgiveness process. And number 3, just because you forgive somebody doesn't mean that you have to give them your heart again. This is yours to have or to give, because your heart is a very special gift. You do not just give it to anybody. They have to value what you are giving them. Because if they have access to your heart, they have access to hurt you again. They can have access to making you not feel safe and not feel loved. But you do not have to give them access. That is up to you. So I hope this video treats you well and you have a new formed feeling of what forgiveness is. Many blessings to all who watch this. Forgive, use your words, take action. Make it happen, and you will change your life.